Hi, and welcome back to Traveling with Lizzie and Paul. I'm Paul, and today I'd like to take you through our experience with the Ogo Composting Toilet. So we installed the Ogo Composting Toilet in September last year, so that was September 2025. And since then, we've been traveling part-time until end of the year. And then as of January 2026, we've been traveling full-time, and so using the Ogo extensively. And our experience has been maybe a bit different from some people. The first thing I'd like to say is that from an installation perspective, most of what I read and was able to see on YouTube was it's an easy install, it's done in a couple of hours, just go ahead and do it. Our experience was different, and I captured that in a video, and you can go to the link up here if you want to learn more about that. So it took me quite a long time to install it, but that video will tell you all about that. So in this video, we'll talk about our experience, and I'll take you through what's required to change the number 1 and the number 2 buckets that have to be done on a regular basis. At the end of the video, we'll talk about how long we get out of the bucket, the advantages and disadvantages, and that type of thing. Right. Let me take you through what I need to be able to change the number 2 bucket. So first of all, I've got gloves because it's not a particularly clean job. It's not a dirty job. It's not a clean job. I like to wear gloves. So gloves. I also need the core. So we've got these Bunning peat cores, the 15-litre version, which we then cut into thirds, and we use about a third of a 15 litres, about 5 litres per bucket. Now I've got one that is already cut, so I'll be using the one out of this bag in a few minutes. I also need to be able to clean out the number 2 bucket, so I'll be doing that with this brush. And I also need to bag the compost. And so I've got 2 bags. We do that 2 bags, and then we dispose of the compost red bin, and any red bin that's is where you can dispose of it correctly. To mix up the core, we use a bucket. This is a collapsible bucket. I'll uncollapse it. Collapsible bucket, nice and straightforward. Water to mix in with the core. And finally, of course, it's just over here, the bucket with the compost in it. I'm not going to show you the compost, but it really looks like a compost. It's not nasty at all. It's just, I won't be showing you the inside until I've emptied it. So let's get started. I'll have a stopwatch running. I don't know if I'll get it up on the screen. I don't know if I'm that smart. So we know how long it takes me. Okay? So let's get started with the time lapse. So there we go for the basic change. We're basically looking at what, 8 minutes? A little bit over maybe. Now obviously I have to put everything away, so that takes time as well. I'll go back and continue the time lapse just for putting stuff away and keep the clock running. Actually no, I won't time lapse putting stuff away, but I'll leave the clock running so that we can discuss this later. So I've finished doing the number 2 bucket, and I'm up to 12 minutes 28. 12 minutes 28 to change the number 2 bucket. Now obviously that was a best case scenario because the core was already separated. I only had a third left. If I have to separate that off the the block that comes from Bunnings, that's probably another minute or two. But it gives you a rough idea. You need 12, 15 minutes to be able to change that number 2 bucket. While the compost is perfectly clean, just to point something out is that we have this collar installed, and this allows the bucket to stay in place on rough roads, and it also helps the compost stay in there. When it starts getting a bit full, then it gets pushed back down by the collar as it's agitated. And if you've never seen the agitator, that's what it looks like when it's agitating. So there we use extremely little water, and I'll explain that in the summary why we use extremely little water.
I just clean off the bottle with a little disinfectant wipe just to make sure it's on the clean side. I read somewhere, and don't ask me where, to use a little bit of citric acid. I haven't come across it afterwards, but I do it. I put a little bit of that in. I know some people put in white vinegar. I don't. I use this. Half water, half white vinegar, a little bit of eucalyptus oil, and that we use for the compartment for the number 1s.
So after each number 1,
we do not use it on the other compartment. The other compartment will use disinfectant wipes or whatever. And there is one question I've seen a few times, and yes, there are 2 seals. Can you show that? Here. Which some people have confused. I'm not going to touch it, but this is actually 2 seals. I've had 1 fall off before, so just keep an eye on that. And that's about all I do.
So do you add water when you put the
No.
citric acid in?
No.
So no water?
But every time we go, I use a bit of that mix, and I think somehow it does the trick. It never smells, the bottle is clean, and that's really all. Make sure we lock it in. And voila!
We're good to go. If you've been researching the topic of Ogo, you'll know that toilet paper is right up there in the most discussed points. To separate or not to separate. So are you just going to put your toilet paper in the composting bucket, or are you going to separate it? I was horrified initially about the idea of separating the toilet paper. I just couldn't see how you could do that and still like to use the toilet. But in the end, separating the toilet paper is not a big deal. And that's what we do. And I'll show you what our bin looks like for the separate toilet paper. So here's our Ogo with the mix of vinegar and water that Lizzie was talking about before. So we just fill that up regularly. And at the back there, you can see the little bin we use for separating toilet paper. Now, for us, one of the key things is this opens automatically. As soon as you put your finger over it, it opens. So that means that you're not getting it dirty or anything like that if you open it. We also use baby wipes profusely, and they also go in that bucket. It helps us keep everything clean. Okay, we've been through how we use the Ogo. Now what I'd like to do is just go through a summary, talk about advantages and disadvantages, and you'll be able to make up your own mind if the Ogo is for you. I would like to point out again that we're not sponsored, so we don't make any money whatsoever. We didn't get any discounts or anything. The Ogo is a fairly expensive piece of equipment. It's a couple of $1,000, at least that's what it cost us, $2,200 I think it was. Don't quote me on that, may have gone down since then. So it's quite an expensive piece of equipment. So advantages and disadvantages. Number one advantage, and by far, is you don't have to change it as often as a chemical toilet. You're really looking at changing it every 8 to maybe 14 days, certainly with 2 people, with our volume of compost production. Every scenario is going to be different. It depends on the number of people and what their rate of production is, shall we say. Other advantage, it is extremely cheap to change. So the chemicals in a chemical toilet are relatively expensive. The core that you get from Bunnings and so on, it's like $5 for 15 kilos or something like that. It's very, very reasonable price. The next thing is it does not smell. There is no smell. Anybody who's used a chemical toilet and maybe let it go a little bit too long, they can be awful things. And I've got a very sensitive nose. So they don't smell, that's great. And then disposal. So you can dispose of the waste in the red bin. And so that's a big plus, you don't need a dump point. I would hasten to add that for the number ones, if we're in a caravan park, we will use a dump point to dispose of the number ones. But if we're not, it's just grey water. You can dispose of it safely into nature. So those are the advantages. What are the disadvantages? Well, first of all, I'd say you need to learn what the right mix of core and water is for you. And depending on how humid or dry what you're putting in the compost is, then that will have an effect. So for instance, in our case, generally speaking, we put very little water in the compost, certainly less than is recommended by Ogo. So we put in, I think, 125 or 150 mil only. And I think, if I remember correctly, but you can help me in the comments here, I think Ogo recommend double that. It does take a bit of time to change, and you saw in the video it's a bit of effort to break up the core. So it took what, about 12 to 15 minutes, and that's somebody who's well practiced doing it. The first times you're probably going to take a lot longer. It can go off. So if you get your mix wrong, or it's been a decent curry night or something like that, your compost may go off. It may become too humid, in which case you need to change it early. It may be too dry. That's probably an easier problem to fix. You can add a bit of water. In our case, we often just change it straight off. Now, this last disadvantage is very interesting, and it's different for men and women. So for men, and this is definitely speaking from experience, you need to sit down, which is not a big challenge, but then your tackle, shall we call it, will touch the toilet. It'll touch the toilet either on the separating, the little separating wall, or the front. It doesn't bother me. We clean it anyway afterwards. Big deal. For women, so I've read in the Facebook group, in the Ogo Facebook group, and also from experience here, is that women have to, I think the term is ride the fence, to be able to make sure that number ones don't go into the number two bucket. So that's something to bear in mind and something to get used to. So to close, would we go back to a chemical toilet? The answer from both of us here is a very emphatic no, never. The advantages far outweigh the disadvantages of the composting toilet, and we're big supporters now. So that brings us to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you do like this type of content, do please like the video and subscribe. We are producing videos such as this regularly. I again refer to the videos that we've done on the Ogo, particularly the installation video, so it should have appeared already up in the top left hand corner there, and it'll be in the description if you want to go and look at that. See you in the next one.